Hawaii imports over 85% of its food, with only a few days' supply of food stocked in supermarkets at any given time. This is not a Hawaii phenomenon, though. Islands across the Pacific are at the mercy of rising fuel costs as well as natural disasters. Growing concerns about food security in the Pacific Islands has led me to the question of, how was food security achieved in the past? Before the age of shipping, how did Pacific Islanders thrive? These questions have led me to tropical home gardens. Tropical home gardens have long been a part of Pacific Island cultures, and they are said to be central to the general well-being of Pacific Island people. Very different from what most people in the United States think of when they imagine a home garden, a traditional tropical home garden is a multi-storied, food-producing landscape, completely integrated with the functioning of the home. Plants are grown for personal consumption as food, as well as for medicinal, ceremonial, and construction purposes. In learning about these traditional systems, I've become fascinated by their inherent sustainability. In providing for a single family, tropical home gardens also benefit community, economic, and ecosystems. As a production system, tropical home gardens can contribute greatly to the household economy. They save families money by replacing store-bought goods with food and materials from the garden. Also, if a market exists, families can generate income by selling food and materials grown in the garden. In this way, tropical home gardens have been and can continue to be a buffer against inflation, increasing fuel prices, and personal economic hardship. For myself, the most exciting aspect of learning about tropical home gardens was learning about all the benefits they provide to communities. The impact of tropical home gardens really goes well beyond property lines. Many people can benefit from even a single garden. I classified the numerous community benefits into 3 categories: social, nutritional, and cultural benefits. Nutritionally, tropical home gardens just make sense. They make a fresh, nutritious, diverse, and inexpensive plant-based diet possible. Food doesn't get much more local than your backyard. In speaking with home gardeners, I've found that sharing produce from the garden is a very important part of why people even have home gardens. One study in 1990 estimated that 64% of households with home gardens in the Pacific Islands share their bounty with friends and extended family. Tropical home gardens fill the role of playgrounds, classrooms, and social gathering sites, providing recreation, education, and sentimental value to a community. Culturally, tropical home gardens enable people to grow traditional foods and medicines that they may not otherwise have access to. The gardens themselves also play a large role as a site for religious rituals and cultural ceremonies. The environmental benefits of tropical home gardens include all the benefits of keeping an area forested or planted, especially as opposed to paving over it. Tropical home gardens also benefit ecosystems with the high biodiversity that they support. Now, how does this all relate to today? What I see in tropical home gardens is a time-tested example of self-sufficiency, and thus a huge potential to address many issues of today. Tropical home gardens can decrease dependence on imported food and inputs, as well as set an entire community on a track towards self-sufficient food system. Community food security is achieved when all citizens obtain a safe, personally acceptable, nutritious diet through a sustainable food system that maximizes healthy choices, community self-reliance, and equal access for everyone. I believe that this can be achieved through the support and creation of tropical home garden systems. Self-sufficiency through subsistence home gardening is central to making lasting changes to Pacific Island food security. For more information, visit hawaiihomegrown.net.